Hello and welcome to Sobricks. I'm Adam and this is Sobricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets, putting Lego sets together, taking them apart, talking about Lego, and I'll have a bunch more Lego related content in the future. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Lego Creator 3-in-1 vintage motorcycle. This is set number 31135. It has 128 pieces. And I paid $15 for this set. I've already done a video about the main model, the vintage motorcycle, as you can see here, and I will link that video in the description. So in this video, what we're going to do is take apart the main model here, and I'm going to build the first alternative model, which is kind of like more of a sporty bike. It looks like not like a vintage chopper or like Harley or something, but more of a something faster, I don't know, and sleeker. And then there's kind of like a dragster build at the end, and I think actually what I'll do is build that one first, take that up, talk about it, take that apart, put together this other bike, and talk about that. So while I disassemble this and assemble this, I will speed up the video and then I will come back to talk about this build once I'm done. So until then, enjoy. Okay, that is this side build. I think it's supposed to be kind of a hot rod or like a dragster kind of vehicle. Well, one of the things I talked about in my my video for the main model, the vintage motorcycle, is that this one looked kind of small. It is. I mean, I thought the vintage motorcycle looked small too, and I was a little bit surprised by that one. This isn't minifigure scale really because of the huge wheels. These are great wheels, by the way. I like these wheels a lot, and they move pretty good. This build is a little disappointing to me. I mean, from the picture, I think I kind of knew what I was getting. This build is very fast, very, very easy, and it doesn't really work for me. I don't think it looks that good, frankly, especially because these gear or these, round pieces Technic pieces are used as wheels with no rubber. So I guess now that it's built, they can roll a little bit. So if this is on a surface, it will roll. That's only if you put enough pressure down for that to happen. If I just do it from up here, those stay stationary in the front. So you got to push down a little bit, get the grip, and it'll roll. So maybe there's play value. This moves. It's kind of supposed to be a spoiler or something, a little wing on the back of a vehicle to make it go faster. Exhaust. The wheels are not held on with any other like Technic piece. They have the like Technic plus sign cross pin thing already in there, so they hold on pretty good. There's not real risk of those coming off. Man, I guess boy, oh boy, this is not great for me. I'm not a fan of this one really at all. It was too simple and it doesn't look good, and I don't think it even works very good. And so this is a little disappointment for me, but I can't say that it's not necessarily as advertised. I've just been surprised by some of these alt builds in the past. So this one doesn't really add to the value of the set for me. But let's see if the next one does. So now I'm going to put together this. I don't know what to call this. A motorcycle that goes fast. Not a vintage motorcycle. I'll call it the modern motorcycle. And I'm going to take this Dragster disappointing build apart, and then I will put together this modern motorcycle, and I will speed up the video while I do that, and then I'll come back and give my thoughts on the last build. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so that is what I'm calling the build for the modern motorcycle here, as opposed to the vintage motorcycle. And compared to the other build I did before this, this is a lot better. The viewing angles, it's maybe hard to find the exact right one. This one does not have any steering ability, which the main model did have. You were able to steer, but this one does come with a little kickstand type deal, so it will stand freely if you would like to display it. The exhaust is cool, wheels spin. It's different enough. It looks a good amount different than the main build. It feels smaller. I think it's definitely shorter, but it has that kind of sportier look, and this is way better use of the pieces than the Dragster. It uses more of them, I wager, or it definitely uses more of them, it seems. Some of the building was more fun for me. It wasn't as straightforward. I had to build some stuff upside down and turn it back and put things on, and I really like that. That makes for a fun, interesting build experience for me. And this is okay. This is all right. I think there's good play value. It's all right. So one of the things I wanted to do was compare, because in my original video I talked about this a little bit. This color is the same color as the Street Racer 3-in-1, and I had a theory that the Street Racer would pair better with this, and then the vintage motorcycle would pair better with one of the side builds for the Street Racer set, which I will be making a video on right after this. And so I'm going to grab the Street Racer car and kind of take a look at these next to each other and see how I feel. Okay. They look all right. If they're both kind of more modern vehicles, kind of racing vehicles, speedy vehicles, sleek kind of vehicles here, this does look good. I mean, I liked the vintage motorcycle a lot more than I thought I was going to. So, I like this as well. But I am going to put this back to the original vintage motorcycle, so that when I build one of the side builds for the Street Racer, I can kind of look at that vintage motorcycle next to that side build of this set. So keep an eye out for that video. Ultimately, for the vintage motorcycle set, I was surprised by the main model. I was a little wary about paying $15 for only 128 pieces, and I felt pretty satisfied having built the main model. I was disappointed by one of the side builds, this Dragster one. I did not like that one much at all, and this modern motorcycle is okay. I mean, I don't know if it's the order I built them in or whatever. This left a sour taste in my mouth. Almost anything would be a step up from that one. This certainly was a step up. I don't think it's as, effective as the vintage motorcycle. I don't know if it's just, if it really reaches that level for me. So when I'm evaluating this set, I do take into account the price, the pieces, sure, but also how the build experiences are, what the models look like, display value, play value, parts usage, interesting building techniques. And I thought for the vintage motorcycle alone, it was pretty good. I was willing to be surprised, and my expectations were exceeded on that build. And then, it's a 3-in-1 set, and so on one level, I understand a person could try to say, well, anything extra, anything outside of the main model is kind of a bonus. And while that's true, it is also part of this theme, part of this line, part of the Creator 3-in-1 is that these are kind of supposed to be standalone builds that really work on their own. This one does not for me. This one maybe. I don't know if I buy this set if it's just this bike. And there are other examples of Creator 3-in-1s where I do really like the main build and the side builds. So this is a little disappointing. And at $15, unless you're a big fan of motorcycles or bike culture or something like that, I can't say that I recommend it, although I'm still glad to have this set. I like the main model enough, and I love building Legos. So I like this fine. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like. And if you like my channel, please consider subscribing to it. I'll be coming back with more Lego reviews, Lego builds, and a bunch of other Lego content in the future. Until then, thanks. Bye.